Uh, Hello everyone, my name is Contd. I'm a senior at Howard University, just here visiting. And at Howard, the Sodexo workers are basically, for the last year and a half, have been going through pretty much the same problems and trials and tribulations that y'all are going through. So I was wondering if y'all have had any support from any neighboring schools around here or any schools around the country, and what kind of progress have y'all made, collectively to, basically come out with a greater good?
I've been lucky enough to travel with SEIU, the people who are helping us to form this union. And like you said, it's not just here in Atlanta. It's, like you said, it's pretty much all over. And that what surprised me when I first took one of these trips. We went to New Orleans, excuse me, and to hear others working of Sodexo having the same issue that we have. And I knew then that this is not just at Emory. This is pretty much whoever works for Sodexo worldwide. And I got a chance to travel over to Paris and not actually shake the hand of the man who owns Sodexo, but to be in one of the stockholders' meetings. And they were very surprised that once they found out that we're trying to form a union, how we're treated as workers are. And one of the things that he told us, if he didn't have a problem with us forming a union, it was just the site where we are. Like he said, it's not just here in Atlanta. I mean, it's all over. So we're all together. I mean, every couple of weeks, we do what we call we get on the phone and we talk around with everybody else and see that the problems they're going through, what the issues they are, what you have, how many programs you have got together, petitions and stuff like that. So we're all still working together just to fight this.
I know you guys have a problem with wages and stuff like that, but on average, how many hours a week do you work, or how long are your shifts per day? Because I feel like every time I go into the duck, either I see the same people at certain stations, and I know they have like a lot of different hours of the day, and so I always feel like maybe these people ever either get a break or time to relax or sit down. So how many hours a week do you guys average?
I'm there from 1 to 9, Tuesday through Thursday, and on Saturday and Sunday I'm there from 7 to 4.
I'm there Monday through Thursdays, and I guess I make probably about 39 hours per week.
Hi, I'm Diane, and I'm a retired auto worker with the UAW, and I can tell you that the benefits of finally gaining a union contract will be worth all the struggle that you're going through. What I wanted to know was wage differentials. Does Sodexo have a different wage scale for each campus or each workplace, or are you discovering that they have sort of a same pattern? In other words, are the workers comparable at Georgia State or at Morehouse? Is everybody different?
I think Georgia State and Clark, if I'm not mistaken, are lower than ours are. Their wages are lower. If I'm not mistaken, I think you're like maybe at $7 or $8 an hour. So it's not.
And then my other question is, when is it that Emory changed over from it being people being Emory employees to Sodexo?
That I cannot answer.
Are there any other Sodexo workers in the audience? No? Okay. Okay, back.
Good question. In speaking to the president and a couple of other people who are really influential in sustainability at Emory, I came across finding out if there was a special status given for those people who worked for Sodexo before, worked for Emory Daddy before Sodexo took over. And I was wondering if you felt like there was a dichotomy in how, people who came on board with Sodexo are treated versus those honorary members. Do you think they're treated better, or there is this full status that I've heard about?
I can't answer that question because I'm not sure of who was there before Sodexo took over.
So it's not really a visible effect.
I can't answer that.
You mentioned something about health care and you had to reapply for insurance. Is that regular practice? In other words, for all Sodexo employees that you have to reapply, it's just not automatic?
You have to reapply.
And but and is there, I'm trying to figure out, because I think generally everybody has to reapply to a point. I mean, you have to kind of reaffirm, yeah, I want this and I'm going to continue to pay, but
Right.
do you guys have any, is there any cut in service in coverage?
You know, I received something yesterday about, a life insurance, I forget the name of it. But, it's a life insurance that they have come out with, and we'll have to pay extra for that. But all the other coverage that we already have in force, it will still be the same. All we have to do is just call in and let them know nothing has changed.
And could I just follow that up? And do you know what the difference is between Sodexo coverage, health insurance coverage, and the insurance coverage that regular Emory employees have?
No, I don't.
Does anyone in the audience know, or is every employee who knows?
Can you repeat the question?
What the difference in healthcare coverage between regular Emory employees and Sodexo employees at Emory?
The only thing I do know is that they certainly, during the months between May and August, there's no break, there's no lapse. That's all I know specifically.
And Clara and Crystal, can you kind of clarify what happens? So you all are technically seasonal workers, right? Because it's an academic year. So can you explain what happens over the summer, and you have to apply to work over the summer, and do you lose your insurance during that time?
Well, Clara has insurance, I can't afford it.
Well, this year we got out on, May the 7th? We got out, we was off work, from May the 7th to August, late August. And they give you about 2 weeks after being laid off, well, after you get your last check for the summer, then about 2 weeks after that, your insurance lapses. And what they will do is they will wait till that week after you get your last check, then they will write you a letter and give you about 4 or 5 days to send in the money to pay for from the time you're off until you go back to work. And you have to pay all this money at one time. So nobody can afford that, because I get $179 per week. And by my husband being sick, there's no other income coming in but mine. And I cannot afford to pay that kind of money all at once.
Yeah, my name's Alan. I know I had an opportunity to speak with President Wagner at some point during the year. And I know I had mentioned the Sodexo thing to him. And one thing he told me is that you have to be able to differentiate between Emory issues and the private issues. And he mentioned the fact that, Sodexo is a private company. His interactions with them are Emory and Sodexo interactions, not their interactions with the workers are separate from Emory interactions. That's like the main point that he kept trying to make. So I know what I think what I believe Emory's responsibilities to its employees are, and I don't know what Sodexo's responsibilities to its employees are. But as employees yourself, like, what expectations do you have for Emory University as opposed to Sodexo? Like, what do you think our responsibilities to you guys as our faithful workers should be, as opposed to what how Sodexo should be treating you?
I personally I think it shouldn't matter if we're under Sodexo, but we're on the Emory campus. And being on the Emory campus, I think there's a certain standard, like you said, that we live up to, that we are all expect.